Hi everyone and welcome back to the African Cichlid Hub. I'm Mark and this is another Update Thursdays video. Now in last Thursday's video, the top comment was from Boy with a Fish Tank, and here's the comment. And he's basically asking me to make a video on how to make a good Rockscape. So thank you for the comment and thank you for everyone that gave it a thumbs up. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using a pre-recorded video of my tank. I really like the hardscape in my tank at the moment, so I wasn't going to be pulling all the rocks out of my tank and putting them back for the purpose of this video. But what I can do and what I will do in this video is give you guys some hints and tips, show you some inspiration for a Rockscape within an aquarium and what type of Rockscapes we should be using for different species of fish. So before even jumping into rockscaping a tank, we need to take into a few things into consideration. We need to understand the requirements of the species that we're going to keep. Now for instance, in my video in front of me, and like most of you probably know, I keep Mbuna, and they like built up rocky outcrops because that's where they sort of congregate and they feel more safe over rocks. And say for instance if you're keeping haps and peacocks, well they prefer more of an open space swimming areas, so you don't really need to build loads of caves and stuff using the rocks. You can have just rocks spread out here and there sporadically. Same goes for Victorians and Tanganyikans as well. They do sort of like open area swimming, but they also like rocky areas as well. So now you should know exactly what type of rockscape your fish require. Let's have a look at a few rock examples that we can use in our African Cichlid tanks. Now these three that I'm going to be showing you now are my favourite, and then I'll show you a couple of more examples that can be found in say landscape, garden centres, online, fish sites, etc. Let's have a look at the first one, and the first one I'm going to show you guys is what I've got in my tank. It's called sandstone. Then we have another one of my favourite, which is river rock. And the next one is chunky bits of slate. Just be careful with slate because sometimes they have really sharp edges. Now another popular one within the hobby is ocean rock. Now personally I don't like to use ocean rock because I like to use rocks that look more natural in my tanks. Now I have nothing against people that use ocean rock because I know it's really easy to get hold of and it's really easy to stack. So let's talk about getting inspiration to help us hardscape our tanks. Now inspiration is everywhere. It's in people's videos, it's in pictures on like Google. So all you have to do is just Google things like Lake Malawi underwater, Lake Tanganyika, Lake Victoria, etc. Then look at their natural habitats and see how we can best replicate that in our aquarium. Now when it comes to basically placing the rocks in the tanks, think of it as building a house. You need to have good foundation. The wider the bottom pile of rocks the better, and then obviously building up like a pyramid type shape going upwards, because the rocks at the bottom will take all the weight from the rocks that are piled up on the top. Now here's a few pictures of when I set my tank up originally, and you can see I didn't sort of pile the rocks on top of each other. I spread them round and then use large rocks against smaller rocks to give it some height as well as making it look as natural as possible. Another thing to remember is when you're placing the rocks into the tank, either put them on egg crate or straight onto the glass and then add the sand in. You can always add sand in first, but make sure the actual rocks are touching the base of the tank. And regarding putting a large amount of rocks into a tank, can the glass withstand the weight? Yes, it can, depending on what thickness the glass is. Now I don't recommend putting say 50-60 kilos of rocks in a 5mm thick tank. What I have in my tank is 12 to 15mm, and I have over 120, 150 kilos worth of rocks into my aquarium, as you can see at the moment. Now also when you're setting up a tank and you're putting the rocks in and stuff, try and figure out beforehand how you want it to look. It's always a lot easier to do like a rough sketch on a piece of paper and what you want it to look like, rather than putting all the rocks into place and then having to move it all over again. You want it in there, move it about, and then That's it, it's done. It's really simple. And also remember guys, when we are setting up our tanks, just try and have as much fun as possible. At the end of the day, it's going to be us more than anyone that's going to be sat there watching our tanks. Now if you're like me, I constantly change my hardscapes all the time. It keeps me on the toes and it keeps me inspired. Now I really hope you can take something away from this video that will help you out in the future for when you do your next hardscape. Now please don't forget to leave a comment for next week's topic. And if you don't want to leave a comment but you see someone else's comment that you would like me to cover, just give that comment a thumbs up. Now also stay tuned to my channel because I'm going to be bringing out a channel update video which will contain some important news in regards to how my channel is going in the future, which I will need your help with as well, so please stay tuned for that one. Now as always guys, I appreciate you watching my videos, I appreciate your feedback. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and until next time, I'll speak to you soon.